Be ready to put in that work because it's not going to be easy. But I think that if you're willing to finally be consistent and you've got that discipline in real estate, that this could be a really amazing year for you. We're Sahara and Michaela, co-founders of Refine Marketing.
From corporate 9-to-5s to building and scaling multiple million-dollar companies in less than 5 years, we're not afraid to get into the nitty-gritty.
Giving you a raw and real look at what it takes to build and sustain a business.
This is Rise and Refine.
Hi guys, happy Monday and welcome back to the Rise and Refine podcast. Today is a little bit different because who we love, Michaela, is unfortunately very sick and she could not film, but we still wanted to get you guys an episode out. And so for some reason, we thought it would be good for me to be by myself and talk by myself, which Michaela really does a good job of grounding me so I don't get myself in trouble. She's like, keeps me grounded. But anyways, welcome back. Today, with real estate being my main business, I thought that I would take this time to do a solo episode and really dive into what I'm doing in 2025 with real estate, because we have several realtors who actually listen to this podcast and follow us, because real estate is a small business and a lot of what we talk about can be applied to real estate. But today we're going to get into the specifics of real estate and what I'm focused on for 2025. So with that being said, if I were an agent in 2025, here are some things that I would work on. And the first one is, if you are not already on the social media train for real estate, get on it. Because I'm noticing that clients are finding realtors more and more through social media now, and that number is only rising. And so if what we're telling our agents is consistency and social media is more important than ever. So really establish a game plan for social media and real estate. And this is the year to stop using templates and to really dive into videos as well. We said that last year we did a whole real estate podcast episode, me and Michaela, and we talked a lot about marketing and real estate. But this year especially, I think it's also very important to be even more original with videos. And so I would love to see more long form content come back, whether that's on YouTube or Instagram from realtors. And so in 2025, one of the things that we are doing is we are actually going to start posting more long form content again. It's been a couple years since we've done that. We've done mostly short form content for the past couple years. And while it's really helped to boost our business and we love doing it, we really want to add in a lot of long form content back in. So in 2025, things we're doing for my real estate business is definitely add in long form content back. And I'm really excited for it. All right. So last year I wanted to give some stats too, just so I can back up like what I'm saying. But my real estate business, this is my 4th year having a real estate business. I've been in real estate for over 10 years, but I started my team 3 years ago, and this is our official start to the 4th year of starting a team. And so last year we did, let me get the number so you guys know that I can back up what I'm saying, because that's important. So last year, my team did over $130 million in real estate, which we sold over 370 contracts, which crazy to think about. And I only sold one of those. So I am no longer in production. I now run the business. I do all the coaching, marketing, meetings, employees, the growth, all of that. I don't sell houses anymore. I just coach the agents how to sell houses, right? And so we had a really big year of growth last year. And a lot of what we did to grow last year, we're going to keep doing in 2025. And so last year we did a lot of back to the basic training. Like I'm talking getting down back to paperwork, getting a lot of our paperwork updated. So we kind of had to do that anyways, but we got a lot back into scripting, and we did a lot of role play last year, and we did a lot of focus on just knowledge and market training, things that we kind of let go of the year before. It's always great to do new things and to train and to go to training classes that are new, right? Like new material, new thoughts, new concepts. Like it's fun to work on that. But sometimes what's best for your business is to truly take a step back and focus on things that you don't want to do, because those are typically the things that will work. And so in 2025, we're going to bring a lot of that into our year and still keep doing those trainings while it may not be as fun to do a paperwork class. Like, no, that's not fun. But we're just making sure that we continually show up and do the things that you sometimes don't want to do. So a few other things that I'm doing in 2025 for my real estate business is really, really amping up our marketing in other ways than social media. So I feel like last year we really focused on social media and that was our marketing. But this year we are adding on new aspects of marketing. We're getting back into focusing on the Google page. We're getting back into focusing on SEOs. We're even doing blogs to help with SEOs. We're going to do more community things and stuff. This is stuff that we used to do that we did not do last year because we were so into social media that as we grow, I find it's very important to have your hands in a couple of different buckets and to make sure that you're not relying on one source to bring you business. And so we're really working on those other sources and making sure that marketing isn't just social media, but it's all of these other aspects as well. Um, Long form content, making sure we focus on the basics, getting back into training, and then adding on other aspects of marketing. Those are the four things so far that we're really going to focus on for 2025. Another thing that we're really focused on for 2025 is getting together more and not just on Zoom. I think we've really relied on Zoom, but it kind of takes away a lot of that culture aspect of being together. And I find that when my agents are together, we tend to brainstorm more. Getting together really helps us in terms of being able to think of new concepts and brainstorm. And we just love doing that. And so instead of always being on Zoom and being behind a computer, one of the things we really want to focus on for 2025 is making sure that as a team, we train more in person and we don't just rely on Zoom. My team, my agents, they want to show up at the office more so they can be around each other and kind of get out of the house and make sure that they're more productive. And so we're doing a lot more of stuff in person just to bring that back while still using Zoom and implementing that. We want to make sure that we don't rely on it. In terms of so for Embry Group specifically, and in real estate, if you're a real estate agent and you do have employees, assistants and stuff, one of the things that I think is really important to focus on in 2025 is communication with whoever is involved in helping you, and staying organized. And so we introduced Notion at the beginning of last year, and while we did use it, I don't think we committed to it. And it really does help you stay more productive when you have a system that you can use, whether you have an assistant or a showing agent or somebody. And so this year, we're really diving into our systems a little bit more and making sure that we are as organized as we can be and communication is there. That way, we're not getting frustrated with somebody. It's like, well, I told you this in the last meeting, and then people forget, or where are we at with this project? And so this year, really staying organized is really, really, really important, so that we don't get off track. And on the agent side, if you don't have assistants or employees, for you to stay organized, making sure that your database stays in check and that you are in that database and that CRM every single day is key to success for 2025. Because hopefully you spent last year adding to that database, adding more clients, more leads, adding more transactions. And so keeping up with your database is the agent's goal for 2025. And we've talked about that because it's so important. Even if you only had 20 clients, to keep up with making sure you check in with them and getting that sphere business and growing that database and adding to it, it's something that agents don't love to do. They'd rather be out and showing homes. But the way you get to showing homes is by adding to your database and doing the things you don't want to do. And so database. That is our goal this year, is for the agents to keep it organized, be in it. I told them, you don't have to be in it for 5 hours a day. You can be in it for 5 minutes today and an hour tomorrow. As long as you're in it daily, keep up with your database. And if you are an agent and you do not have a CRM yet, get a CRM right now. Stop listening to this podcast. Go get a CRM right now. It is key. I have a CRM for all my businesses. It is key to growth. A key, one of the keys. Another thing to really focus on as an agent for your 2025 growth is to finally commit to time management, because 2025, it's going to take more follow up. It's going to take more nurturing. It's going to take more organization. It's going to take more time. We are back to where agents have to be more knowledgeable, more organized, and on top of their game. And so the way you can do that and still have a work life balance is by finally committing to time management. I've been teaching real estate for several years now. And the number one thing, anytime I teach a class or I do one-to-one coaching, the number one thing that agents tell me they struggle with, their weakness, is time management. To me, it's not a weakness of mine. I probably overdo time management. Like, I was just talking to one of my friends today. I was like, stop letting me book back to back. Like, everything's on my calendar. Like, I need to give myself grace in between, right? And so every single agent I talk to says they struggle with time management. Time management can become easy to commit to after you establish the habit of doing it. And so this year, if I were a full-time agent, I would really focus on time management, and I would add all the important things of my day-to-day business to it, whether that's prospecting, doing an open house, having an off day, checking in on my clients, whatever it is, everything would go on my calendar, and I would time manage and time block as well as I could, because it's going to make me more productive. And I think it's very important for this year in order to grow. So one of the things that's very true for this year is the fact that the sales cycle of converting someone has gone up. And so you have to nurture more, you have to follow up with somebody more. And you have to check in with them more. And so with that being said, I think one of the skill sets you could work on as an agent for 2025 is to sharpen your phone skills, and your texting skills, and look at your scripts you're using. Look at how often you call. Did you pick up the phone enough last year? What did you say? And get good at the phones again, because I think that's something that's gotten lost. And I don't mean just get good on the phones in terms of picking up the phone and calling. I mean, what are you saying? How are you nurturing? Are you building relationships, right? Or do you sound like a robot and you're not really getting into the motivation? And so a big thing for 2025 for us is to dive into our scripts and dive into how we're building relationships, and make sure we are picking up the phone enough, and that we say a 1-to-1 ratio. We believe you should text just as much as you should call, because some clients ultimately prefer texting more. So did you do a good combination of both as well? Before we get into the last thing, just a small little tip as well for 2025 that we are bringing back is some email marketing, because I've never really believed in email marketing. It's never really worked for us until last year when I sent a couple emails. I noticed it can work if you do it the right way, right? People get so many emails nowadays. It still does work. You just have to have good content. And so my tip to agents for 2025 would be to have better content when it comes to emails. And with that, we are actually working with a copywriter to really dive into some of our emails and see how we can improve them, and get better at our words and how we talk about our business and our team and what we do. And so I would really take a deep dive into your email marketing if that's something you want to do. For us, we have a database of 20,000 leads. And so we want to use that database and get, more relationships out of it and convert them to clients and get them to the closing table and help them. And so sometimes people do. And so we want to see how we can take those 20,000 leads and use email marketing to hopefully increase that. And so we're getting back to email marketing. Never thought I would say that. But it can work, but you have got to stand out. Like, people get hundreds of emails a day. You've got to know how to stand out. And so work with a copywriter, or just do your research on how to make better copy if you don't want to spend the money on working with a copywriter, but it has made a big difference on a business already. So we're going to focus more on consistent emailing with really good content. And then the last thing, which is kind of a plug for one of the next episodes that Michaela and I are going to talk about, is our 2 words for 2025 with my real estate company is consistency and discipline. And those are the 2 words we're going to live by this year. We think it's going to take more consistency and more discipline, more follow-up, more nurturing, more work to really grow our real estate business with the way the real estate market is right now. And be ready to put in that work because it's not going to be easy. I think it's going to be a big year of growth, but I think that if you're willing to finally be consistent and you've got that discipline in real estate, that this could be a really amazing year for you. You just have to put that work back into it. So go to more trainings, pick up the phone more, really work on your database, think of new ways to market yourself. And I think if you can do all of those things, you'll have an amazing year. But for us and what my team has talked about is there's no more room for slacking off. There's no more room for saying, well, I'm not going to do social media because I don't believe in it. Do it. It's part of real estate now. Or I'm not going to pick up the phone because I don't like to. It's part of real estate now. And so those are the things that my team and me are focused on for 2025 to grow our business in real estate. And hopefully I have some realtors out there who got some really good nuggets for their business in 2025. We missed you, Michaela. My voice is going to go out. I like having a co-host. I have realized at this point because it's more fun to do it with others than by yourself. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you have any real estate related questions or business questions, DM us on our Rise and Refine podcast. You can follow us there, of course, and at Refine Marketing _ as well. And please DM us with more questions for the next episode. And hopefully Michaela is back for this next one. I think she will be. She says she's already feeling a little bit better, and we will see you next Monday.